all the time. That is just once a week. But you said I should cook again. You promised me. You said so. You said it's only once a week, that other times we'll order food. That's what you said. Please don't change it. Don't change it. You know, I'm almost used to that. Please. My name is Sandra Ezeji Anyaele. I am your Marriage Foundation reality coach. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a lot of hilarious topics. Yes, because some of the things we are going to talk about are realities. But first and foremost, I want to say a very big thank you to all those that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I want to also tell those that have not subscribed to subscribe, because this is a channel that talks about realities. And when you subscribe, you will benefit. Now, in the scenario, we notice that the bride or the wife, obviously, she's new. Obviously, they just got married. And she was telling the husband, or reminding the husband, that he said she will not be cooking all the time, that she will be cooking once in a week. And she believed him. How can you believe such? It's so funny, because even where you're coming from, does your mother cook once in a week? Maybe, just maybe, he said that just to please you. And because he said that, it was your expectation. And that is why we tagged today's video, we tagged the topic as expectations versus reality. You don't have to marry expectations. They are not real. You don't have to marry expectations. You marry reality. How can you say you will not be cooking? You'll be ordering food as a married woman. Who does that? It's not possible, my dear. It is not just possible. And then, you, the husband that is promising your wife that she will not be cooking, you will be ordering food. Why will you make such a promise? You want to scam her? You want to blow her mind? Then when she's used to it, before you know, you will start quarreling. You don't do that. You have to be careful when making promises. Yes, especially when you are dating. A lot of times, these things you see while you're dating, you want to carry it over to marriage. It doesn't work like that. You have to be real. You have to be realistic. Don't marry expectation. Yes, expectations don't work in marriage. Expectations don't work. What works in marriage is reality. By the time you see the reality, you now think that somebody is deceiving you. Nobody is deceiving you. It's just that you were not observant enough. It's just that you did not ask the proper questions. It's just that you did not want to know. You were carried away by the euphoria of, dating and going out and all that. If you guys remember vividly, in my intro, I said I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes I made, some of the naiveness and all whatnot when I got married, because I got married early. So the next expectation, that one concerns me. Please, I want you to tell me in the comment section whether we'll categorize that one under expectation or categorize it under naiveness. Please just be honest with me. Write it in the comment section, please. I was thinking that when you marry, that you will not have issues, like you will not quarrel, you will not argue. Huh? Who said that? As a matter of fact, the first time I argued with my husband, I can't even remember what caused the argument, but I shall remember that there was a time I argued with him and we quarreled. Do you know what I did? I told him I was going. He started laughing. He started laughing. I said, I'm serious, I'm going. You can imagine that. I never knew. I thought that two people, when they profess love to each other, they will not quarrel. At all. I never knew that they can quarrel, they can have argument. Let me tell you something. It is not about the argument. It's about how you resolve the argument. Remember, these are you people are just two different individuals that came together in the name of love, and people agreed to get married. You have your own social background, I have my own. So, obviously, there will be friction once in a while. It's part of it. Anybody that tells you that there's no argument, there's no quarrel, misunderstanding in marriage, the person is just lying to you. So, I was thinking that we will never quarrel. I was thinking that there's nothing like quarrel or argument in marriage. Another one again is about me. Most of the things I'll be saying today will be about me, so please pardon me. I just want to, draw the point home so that we will all understand it. Another one that happened was, growing up, I thought that men eat a lot. Growing up, even in my own family, we had 2 boys. They eat like crazy, especially when they enter teenage years. They eat like crazy. So I was fully prepared. I said, when I marry, I'll be giving my husband food. At least I had it at the back of my mind that men eat a lot. But I received the shock of my life when I got married and my husband doesn't eat. In fact, when I'm preparing the food, he said, please, so please, small, just small. Ask me which one is just small again. Meanwhile, I've cooked a whole lot. And I'll be expecting him to eat and say, please, I want extra. I need extra. I didn't know that I was getting married to somebody that he doesn't like too much food. Just a little. He's just okay. The lesson there is that don't use what you hear people say. Don't use it in your marriage. Don't say because I read it somewhere, or because I saw it somewhere, or because no. It's about you. It's about your partner. It's about what works for both of you. Maybe if I did not have that kind of expectation, I won't be cooking too much food. I'll just cook small. It's 2 of us now. I'll just cook small. Yes, I'll just cook small. And my husband likes food, fresh food. So I'll just cook small. Next time again, like that. But this one, because I was expecting that he will be eating too much, just like the notion, that I had growing up. I felt he should be eating like other guys, but I was wrong. So learn your partner, know what works for you, and do what works for you. Don't copy anybody. Another expectation I had, again, when I got married newly, was that weekends are for party. And somehow we talked about it. Somehow, we did not go, in depth, but I just mentioned it. I mentioned it to my husband that, I've always told you that I like party, but I wasn't opportune to do all that because, first and foremost, I married early, and second of all, I was thinking that when I marry, I'll have all the good time that I wanted. So now that I'm married, you should be able to be taking me out, at least party. I love party. He just listened to me. He did not promise me. He did not say yes. He did not say no. What was my expectation? I was expecting that now that we have gotten married, every weekend, because I know that weekends are for party. You go good time, you go out. I was expecting that every weekend he would say, hey, honey, dress up, let's go to party. When it was not happening, I did not tell him, I did not ask him. I was just assuming that he should know. Something we discussed before we got married, I was assuming that he ought to know, that he should know. He should be the one to even remind me that we should go for party. It does not work like that. The reality is that whatever you want to do, you plan for it. You don't assume that your partner ought to do this or your partner ought to know how to do this. No. Whatever you want, don't expect that he knows everything. You tell him or her about it so that you people will talk about it and you people will now arrange and plan on how to do whatever you want to do. Do not assume that you are supposed to do this as a married person. Whatever works for you is what you will do. It's not what you expect. The reality is that you are building a home. Now that you are building a home, there are some things that you will see as non-essentials. You will not do those things. If peradventure there is time for you to do that, you can do it. Nobody is ruling it out. But if you have that as your expectation, that expectation will be dashed and you will be disappointed. If not that I am someone that decided from the word go that I would do whatever it takes to make my marriage work, it would have been a problem because I still had that expectation for so many years. Yes, for so many years. I said it's reality and I say it the way it is. Do not do so. You don't marry expectation, you marry reality. When I was in school, I had a friend. She was also married when we were in school. As a matter of fact, when I moved off campus, she was my close neighbor. She got married before me anyway because she came to school with a baby already. So one day when we were discussing, as married people now, we were just gisting. She now told me that the husband did something very terrible. And I asked her, what did the man do? He said, that they finished eating, that the husband said she should clear the table. I said, what is wrong with clearing the table? She now said, no, that anybody can clear the table. That if you finish first, you can clear you can take your own plate to the kitchen. When the other person finishes, that's how she was brought up. I laughed and I told her that people differ. After all, you are not the same place with your husband. Who knows whether in their own family culture it is the girl child that clears the table, or who knows what the family culture is. So I tried my best, to advise her on what to do, not to take it to heart and all that, because she was really, really angry. She said in her heart that is nothing, this, that. She was complaining bitterly. Now, when I started this channel, I promised myself that even people's experiences, even people's examples, that I will use them. I remember this when I thought about this topic, because if you have that kind of expectation that what works in your family, that is where you're coming from, is automatically what is going to happen in your marriage, you might be wrong. Take a case of an Igbo marrying Yoruba or an Hausa marrying Ibibio. Cultures vary. Maybe in their own culture, this is how they do things. Your own culture, yeah. So it's just for both of you to agree on what to do. Whatever that works for both of you, that is what you will do. I also know that there are some cultures that you shift behind. You just take it aside. It's not working again because it's not workable, it's not doable. I know that very well. But also you have to consider where the person is coming from. Don't always think about yourself. Don't always think about where you're coming from. It is done like this. What of the other person? Yes, what of the other person? We all have where we are coming from. So if we want whatever was working for us, where we are coming from, to be applicable in our marriage, then we are being selfish, because the other person too came from somewhere. So in essence, what you will do is what works for you. Talk about it. If you don't have any reason to argue over the simplest thing, please don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yes. Expectations. If you expect up and you are seeing down, it hurts. It hurts badly. That's why it's not even good to over expect, because by the time you over expect and you are not seeing the things, you'll be so unhappy and all that. Another expectation that is kind of general is the expectation that as a newlywed, that both of you will be seeing each other almost all the time. Yes. It's like a general expectation, because you finish the wedding, maybe went for honeymoon, you've come back and all that. You don't know there is work to do. You have forgotten that there is work to do. You just spent money. So you have spent money, and you think by staying at home most of the time, money will fly from heaven and come and meet you. It doesn't work like that. I, for one, also expected that. Not that my husband should not go to work, but I felt that even if he goes to work, let him come home early enough so that we stay together. I was thinking that was all there is in marriage. I was thinking that by the time you people are staying together, that things will work out better. No, it is not so. The expectation is that when you think that things should work out this way, and a marriage is working out the other way, you feel cheated, you feel bad. But that is not the case. It's just that you were not being realistic about the whole thing. So be real, be realistic. Another expectation that I will say is from the moon is the expectation that you think you are the only one that needs pampering. You think you are the only one that likes or appreciates soothing words. You think you are the only one that will be apologized to when something goes wrong. My dear, it's not like that. It's not so. It's not so. I just want to put a disclaimer. I am not saying that a man or a woman should not be apologized to. That's not what I'm saying. But expecting that it should be one-sided is what I am talking about. And this is based on pure research and experience. Gone are the days you feel as a woman or as a wife in the house, you are the only one that when you're offended, your partner will tell you sorry. Or you are the only one that needs soothing words. Or you are the only one that needs pampering. That's not true. Don't expect that. Obviously, when you people were dating, do you know that almost everything you do while dating, nobody sees it as a bad thing. Nobody frowns at it. even though in this channel we are encouraging you, open your eyes even while you're dating. If there are any what do you call it, deal breakers, talk about it, because a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. Talk about it. Yes, open your eyes while dating. Don't close your eyes to certain things that you will complain about when you marry. Coming back to the pampering and soothing words and apology. You can apologize to your spouse. It doesn't matter if you are the wife or if you are the husband. You can do that. You can also pamper your husband. Women, I say it and I say it loud and clear. You can do that. Don't wait. It's not only you that needs pampering. A man also needs pampering. My philosophy in life is, whatever you know that they will do to you and you will like it, do it to others. For me, that's one of my philosophy. Whatever you know they will do to you and you will like it, do it. Then whatever you know that if they do to you, you will not like it, don't do it to others. That settles it. So when you have this at the back of your mind, you will know that what is good for the geese is also good for the gander. When your husband pampers you, you feel good, right? Fine. Then do the same to your husband. Yes, he's somebody's child as well. Do the same to your husband. Remember I said we are trying to change the narrative. Yes, that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to change the narrative. Marriage revolution, all those things that have been causing quarrels, mishap in marriages, we are trying as much as possible to change them. That is why we are putting it out there the way it is. That is how we are doing it. We are putting it out there so that if you know the ones you are not doing right, you get it right. Correct yourself. Get it right. It doesn't take anything from you. Forget about what people will say. Those days they say if any man that listens to the wife so much, they will call the man woman rapper. Is it not better you answer woman rapper and have peace in your home? Yes, is it not better you answer woman rapper and have peace in your home? Tomorrow, those same people will now be envying you and be saying, hey, see this man or Mr. and Mrs. Kenechukwu, since they married this one, that one. That is how it is. You can be the one to set the pace. You can be the one to start it. It must not be the old ways we've been doing things. Yes. So, pampering, a man also needs pampering. It's not just for the woman. So, that expectation is vice versa. Don't expect that. It's not even all the time. It's not even all the time. There are some things when you were dating, the man will just overlook it, the woman will just overlook it. But now that you are married, you are not staying together. When you were dating, you were not staying together now. Now that you are married, before you do anything, you process it, you think about it, you now check, you say, this thing, is it worth apologizing for? And then again, for peace to reign too, even when you know you are not avoidable, but for the sake of the family peace and tranquility, you can still apologize. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's both of you. Yes, are they going to write it on your forehead that they're always apologizing? Even if they do, it's not anybody's business. Don't try to please anybody. Don't try to please anybody. There are unnecessary expectations. When the reality now does on you, you become so unhappy. You feel that they've scammed you. Let me use that word, scam. They feel they have scammed you because you feel they use that thing to lure you into marriage. And now that you are married, look a lot is what is happening. No, it's just mere expectations. Building castle in the air. These are just mere expectations. I'll buy you 10 cars. And who does that? These are mere expectations. It doesn't work like that. So reality is what will help you in your marriage. Be real. Don't try to pretend. It's real. Be real. Because at the end of the day, since marriage is forever, at the end of the day, one way or the other, the other person will know what has been happening. So which one is better? Is it not better you are real to your partner? Is much better. I told you that today's video will be so hilarious. Yes, it's hilarious because these are some of the expectations we have in marriages, and the reality somehow some people don't get it. But when you are a realistic person, you know that some things don't just work. Forget about the promises. You know that some things don't just work. If you have enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. Are there some expectations you had in marriage? Are there some expectations? Please feel free to write them in the comment section, please, so that we talk about it and we joke over it and we laugh about it as well. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. All of us had expectation. So if there are other expectations, please feel free to write about it in the comment section. I'll be so glad to read. And if you want to reach me, if you can, you're always free to call me. Yes, I'll put my number in the description box. Yeah, you can call me. You can call me. Ask me questions, I'll answer you. It's something I like doing. It gives me great joy to talk about it. So there's nothing there. I'll put my number in the description, but you can call me and we'll talk. I'll see you in my next video.